say you say at the start, I'm happy for the break and all that, but nah, I've been dying to watch Liverpool play for a good few days now. And what better game to get stuck back into it than Everton. I'm confident. I'm always confident. I know Everton, I think they're unbeaten in 9 games.
Love a draw.
Yeah, they do love a draw.
It's going to change pretty quickly that tonight. I've got a feeling that Slot give them a right talking to this week and ready to go out there and start the party. That's what I'm saying. Let's start the party.
Start the party tonight, and I hope they're as raring to go as what we are, because, you know, Kieran said there, you feel like you want a break and then it comes and you're like, won't mind some football. Like, I felt like they needed a bit of a break. It'd been like a tough run. I think Arne Slot said in the press conference that he was sort of glad of the break, but you hope they've come back, you know, been with the international teams, bit of a break sort of from each other, come back and raring to go. And I'm sure, as Keo said, Monday morning, first order of the business is, right, we attack this last part of the season starting with Wednesday.
Yeah, massively, and I don't think there's a set of fans that have needed a football match more, and I think this is the perfect one. Like, you know, these are the games that you get most excited about, not just because it's a derby. I was saying on another show, like, this game, although it's a derby and it's brilliant, like, it feels like this game isn't necessarily about any sort of revenge based on what happened at Goodison. It's about winning the fucking league. That's what it's about. I've been saying that up until now, and then I've got here today and I've been listening to all the Everton podcasts and like hearing how they're feeling, and they're a little bit quietly confident about coming here and getting a draw, or at least not getting beat. So now I take back everything I said. I want to wallop them everywhere. But I think the players will be. That, you know, we've seen slow starts after international breaks, and then obviously they've got this little bit of time off, as you mentioned, but like, I think the players have a bit of point to prove, which feels like a mad thing to say for a team that are 9 points clear and with a game in hand, because, you know, it has been a disappointing sort of few weeks. Arne Slot's, apparently the story came out this morning, Arne Slot has given them a big fucking telling off, that he didn't talk about the cup final at all, and then he's brought them in and talked to them and talked about how Newcastle wanted it more and he doesn't want to see that again. You know, he's laid down the law. So it's a big one. We want a reaction, but we also want sort of another step towards a 20th league title. That's what we want.
These breaks, Keo, these sort of mess with your mind a little bit, and you can talk yourself into, like, tough game and stuff like that. And I think we're in danger. No, I am. I was laughing upstairs saying, like, you know, once I see Alexis McAllister for 10 minutes, I'll remember everything's going to be okay. We've got good players. Yeah. We're where we are for a reason. We're top of the league on merit. We're the best team in the country, and I'm just so keen that they show it tonight, but I think they're going to be so keen as well.
You need to remember that. You need to remember that we have been the best team in the country, and
by a distance.
Yeah, and all right, you say it was a tough couple of weeks. Talk about the PSG two-legger quite quickly. The first leg, I think, got blown a little bit out of proportion. Liverpool were never going there to try and play their game. Liverpool were never going there to try and attack. We were going there to soak up. They were a little bit better than we expected them to. Well, a lot better than we expected them to be. We ended up soaking up a little bit too much, but we came away with a win. That was a proper European performance. That should have been seen as a great performance and a job done. But because how good PSG were, everyone sort of, you know, worried a little bit too much, and then at Anfield we didn't take the chances, and they done us. I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with, same as Slot, is the final, how that carried into the final. But there's not just the manager to blame there, not just the players to blame there, the fans are to blame as well. We were all off on that day. Newcastle fans wanted it more than Liverpool fans. Newcastle players wanted it more than Liverpool players, and I think the Newcastle manager got it more right than our manager did on the day. It's a game. We're still the best team in the country with the best squad in the country, in my opinion. And even though everyone's thinks it's like it's fell apart, and you know there's still a potential that it can carry on falling apart, get that out your head completely. Liverpool have been the best team in England. Keep saying it. Liverpool have been the best team in England, and we're playing a team that is nowhere near the best team in England tonight. I expect to wallop them, as you said.
A good old-fashioned walloping would be fantastic. If you're watching live, by the way, on YouTube, do get your comments here. I'm going to ask Craig to bring in a few of them after we have a little break sort of in the middle. But the attitude just needs to be right tonight, doesn't it? And I'm sort of glad that you told that story, Craig, or that's happened about you know, Arne Slot, because I think part of the reason he's probably done that is his eye on Wednesday, because he'll be thinking, tonight's game has got the potential to be a similar style of game to the cup final. Listen, Everton aren't as good as Newcastle. The table tells us that, and the players, you know, they put on the pitch tell us that. It's also, that was a cup final for Newcastle, literally, this quite won't be the case. You felt like that the Goodison one was their cup final because it was the last derby at Goodison Park and stuff like that. It's not as big a game for Everton as that one was, and certainly not for Newcastle. But they'll look to play or look to get about us in a similar sort of way. They'll look to, upset us like Newcastle did. They'll look to win the second balls. They'll look to win the battles. They'll look for set pieces like Newcastle did. So I don't think it's a coincidence that he's gone back to that game. I don't think it's just the fact that he wasn't too happy with the performance. I think he's saying to them, if you fall into the same traps, this is a team who can do a similar thing to you.
Yeah, massively. In the comments, saying about complacency and the need for intensity tonight, and a little worry around like a freak loss or two, and everyone starts shitting it. And I think a win tonight can be both a statement, but also it can alleviate a bit of that pressure and that worry over what's happened over the previous 2 weeks. And I understand to a certain extent, but I'm on board with Keogh in terms of that. I think for Everton, there's a little bit less pressure for them tonight in a strange way, because they aren't going to get relegated. They're sort of it's a bit of a nothing for them in terms of it's a derby, and obviously it'll mean everything to them to win if they could, or even to take points off us. But I've been dipping into the podcast, and they're sort of sanguine on it all. They're saying Liverpool are on to win the league, and it's not going to be because of them, and the fact that they're not going to be relegated means that there is that sort of, there's just a lack of pressure on them to sort of, and that's the one thing I would worry about. But I think if everyone does their job, and I mean everyone, not just the players on the pitch tonight, the fans, I think from the off, I know there was a lot of talk around the post-League Cup final and sort of what it was like in the stands, and I wasn't there, so I can't comment on it. But Anfield needs to be rocking tonight from the beginning, and I saw Spine Cop post about it as well. It's what, nine games now. You're talking, it's the 9 games from greatness, sort of the big 9 as Neil, but this is the big 9. This is at the end of it can be the holy grail. It can be the thing that we've longed for, and to enjoy it together. And it starts tonight with a win, and I think that'll just calm everyone down. But also it'll be a statement to Arsenal. That this is a big game. It's a derby for Liverpool. They've gone and won it, and then Fulham next. But it'll be hard. I don't think anyone's being complacent going into this game. But it's all right to be quietly confident, because we've been the best team in the league this season.
But don't be fooled, Hannan. Do not be fooled. They are not sitting here, Evertonians, thinking that this is a Nottingham game. I guarantee you that most of them will be saying it, but beyond there, they'll be thinking, if we beat these tonight, it's only 9 points and there's 8 games left. They think they can still stop this. And 100% they can, but they're not going to. Liverpool are going to slap them.
No, there you are. Liverpool are going to slap them. Sorry, I was just seeing if sort of anything's going on. We're all feeling good about that. We're feeling good about the Reds tonight. And so, wherever you're watching in the world, do enjoy the game. Do get behind them. If you're lucky enough to have a ticket, do support them. There is something that the club have put out this morning just around coach meets. It's just come out. I haven't had time to sort of read it properly, but I would encourage you to have a little bit of a look. Obviously, they're famous at Liverpool, and we all sort of enjoy them. But the club and the council and the police are sort of a bit worried about people's safety as well. So would encourage people, if you're thinking about going up for that, just have a little bit of a look at what they have put out there, and just bear in mind, people's safety and your own safety as well. But we want to get behind the team. Listen, we want to enjoy it. There is 9 games to go, and there is a league title to be won. So the Anfield Wrap, more than anyone, understands everyone's excitement around that. Just a quick shout to NordVPN, who were our sponsors for this run of Talking Reds. I used NordVPN's services last night. I've got it installed on my computer, and I find it really useful for a lot of reasons. But last night there was something on the telly, and it wasn't the thing I wanted to watch, and there was something else going on at the same time, and it was the thing I wanted to watch, but it wasn't on the telly in the UK, but it was on in America. So I was able to switch my virtual location with the click of a button, send myself over to America, use my fantastic Peacock service, and then curse Fulham. That was what I was able to do last night. Shout at Adama Traore for not being better at football. So that is something that you can do with the NordVPN service. So it is fantastic, and they've got a special offer available to you. So if you go to nordvpn.com/TAW, that's nordvpn.com/TAW, TAW. It'll list all the many benefits, not just being able to get wound up by Adama Traore and co. It'll list all the benefits sort of on there, and also a fantastic offer will be available just to you there as well. So nordvpn.com/TAW. And thanks a lot to them for partnering with us and also offering me some fantastic internet protection when I was in Australia as well, logging in on some mad Wi-Fi's in some fun cafes trying to do university work. So there we are. Moving on then, let's try and pick a team. The right back's the interesting one. Bradley's sort of back in training, but the manager sounded a bit touch and go about whether he was going to be ready. I would imagine they'll choose to be careful with him because, like I said before, it's 9 games to go. We're all focused on tonight, but he'll be thinking, well, I don't want him to break down again, and then you know, the other two, Trent and Gomez, are a little bit way off. So it could be Quansah. He goes for Quansah. I've got a sneaking suspicion he might pick Curtis Jones. He dropped in a couple of weeks ago that he was asked about right back, and someone said Quansah, and he said, oh, Jones can play there as well. And you know, he didn't have to do that, and he sort of mentioned it. Obviously, he goes in a different direction sort of in the final, probably partly because Quansah had done so well against PSG sort of off the bench, but it didn't work out in the final. It wasn't the only thing. It wasn't Quansah's fault we lost, but it didn't sort of work out. This is a home game where we're going to see a lot of the ball, and I think the manager really likes him. And I think the manager's shown in the past, if he can get 4 of them on the pitch, he's quite happy to sort of do so. I think he really likes all 4 midfielders. I think he'd love a 5th or a 6th that he really likes, don't get me wrong, but I think he likes the 4 of them. And I don't know, I've just got a sneaky feeling he might think, well, it gets me another player who I think's really good sort of on the pitch. But what do you think?
I think we agree on Bradley. Even though I'd like to see him play, Slot's been really, really clever and really... He's managed the minutes of players coming back from injury well this season. It's one of the things he's been applauded for. So I wouldn't play Bradley, especially with the 9 games left. I'm with you. I don't know. I'd probably lean towards him picking Quansah, but I agree with everything you said. You hinted at it. You know, Jones can't play there, and plus Liverpool are going to have a lot of the ball, which means Jones will probably spend most of his time in the middle of the pitch. It's an interesting one. Me personally, I'd probably go with Quansah. I like Quansah. He's had a tough time at Liverpool at certain moments of the season, but I agree the cup final wasn't his fault. He was good the week before. I'd probably play Quansah.
Could talk you into a bit of Curtis Jones at right back. It'd be nice to have him on the pitch.
You can talk me into it, yeah, just because, as Kieran said, he'll have a lot of the ball, and I think that the cup final and I think it was the Newcastle game earlier in the season when Quansah starts at right back, and you could see him, he gets the ball, and then it just slows everything down from an attacking sense. And I didn't think he did too badly against PSG. Obviously it's a post, but I think given the fact that Liverpool are going to have quite a bit of the ball, and you feel as if Everton are going to be difficult to break down, they're going to be a team that are going to be looking for a draw, because that's seemingly what they do at the moment. So you definitely can talk me into it. Also, you can talk me into Curtis Jones playing after his performance right at the end of the derby.
Well, there's a little bit of that.
So, you know,
no one will want him in more than Curtis.
Yeah, massively. Yeah. He'll have a bit of a point to prove. So you could do, yeah. There's some chat. Are you going to go on the midfield, or do you want me to? Because there's a comment here from Christian Smith, which is, will we see Chiesa, which I think is really interesting.
I don't think there's any chance.
But do you know what I think's mad though? And I think one of the things that Slot's done this season at different times when he's felt as if the performance of one hasn't been good enough, he's been not afraid to bring him out and put someone else in. And it feels mad that we've signed this footballer, and maybe it's not one that Slot wanted, and maybe it's just one that they did because it was a bit of an opportunistic signing. But he's come on, he was lively in the cup final, he gets the goal in the cup final, playing like a bit more centrally. Obviously Liverpool were putting out the clips of him this week. Did you see him where he's like banging him in? I know it was just training and all that.
Just some lovely finishes.
Someone was shouting in the background, Fede's a striker, Fede's a striker. Did you notice that?
Really?
As he scores that first goal on that clip, in the background someone shouts Fede's a striker.
And I think, what's the point in him if he's come on in the cup final and scored, and all of our other strike, like you're looking at none of them bar Salah and going, oh yeah, he's in a rich vein of form. And I know Gakpo does well in the international break, I know Jota does as well, Diaz as well, so they've had a decent sort of time away from Liverpool and come back, but the form for Liverpool's not been great recently. So I sort of feel like if you're going to give him a go, surely it's the time after he scored in the cup final, or at least he gets sort of 20 minutes at the end if you're looking for a goal. I just feel like he's just been sort of left this season, and even at the times he has looked sort of bright and lively, no more so than a cup final, you feel as if that's his opportunity to get it. And if he doesn't, when is he gonna?
Do you know what? Well, maybe Fulham. If it was any other game, I'd be sort of up for it, and I think it was possible. You know, I'm thinking from the manager's point of view as much as sort of anything. Listen, if he's on the team sheet tonight, then I'm sort of getting excited and see what happens. But if it was any other game, but I'm just conscious, Keo, that a lot of the talk's been around like the physicality of the league and stuff like that. This is the most physical game you're playing. It's the Merseyside derby. It's Everton. They're all fucking grocks. Do you know what I mean? They're eating mashed potato right now to get bigger. Just going to eat spuds all day just to sort of come out and be like huge. And I just think if there's someone you're worried about like that side of the Premier League, then surely this is the game where you go like, this one's not for you. And like, that's what I say. If he were playing Fulham at home tonight, then I think he'd have a better chance.
I think it depends on the reason why Chiesa hasn't been playing. Nobody knows really. I mean, obviously we know how bad his injury record is, and we know he's protected them. But there's been times where he's been fit, available, and not been near the side at all. And is that because of the sports science suggesting that, in training he's going into red zones and probability of injury is high? Is it because Slot's like, I never bought him, I don't want him, I want players that are available? Or is it because he's not been good enough? I don't know, but what I do know is what Craig said is he looked great when he came on in the cup final. That was more sensible. He looked full of energy. If there's going to be a turning point in which you can say, well, he's good enough to play, it's scored in a big game. I know we ended up losing the game, but he came on and he looked sharp. So I don't think he's going to start. I don't. But I do think something's changed in the tide with him where he's now an available option where he wasn't before. No matter how fit he was, if we had Jota, Núñez, Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, he weren't getting near it. So hopefully something has changed. I don't know. But as you said, they're putting clips out of him scoring in training. The general feel, I mean, the WhatsApp groups are saying Chiesa could start. I know it's rumours and stuff, and it's coming from them videos and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I get all that, but something feels like it's changed with Chiesa. I just don't think he'll start in a derby.
No,
I'm with you. I do think, though, that if he starts one of the others and they're not at the level they should be at for Liverpool, despite what they've done for their internationals, I think they'll get hooked and think could see Chiesa on the pitch.
Well, Match Tom in the comments thinks Gakpo, Diaz, Salah, so that would suggest a Diaz through the middle.
Yeah, I think that's what he'll go for. Yeah, I think personally, that's what he'll do.
I can see that. I can see how Diaz sort of offers the grox at the back of the Everton defence as sort of something different to think about, where he's dropping in deep and all of that. I think I can see Slot looking at this and going, right, well, this is the footballer that gets us to 60, and if we still need someone to score some goals, then these are the ones that bring on at the end. And I think maybe sort of Diaz feels like one that, given the fact that he hasn't scored many goals sort of recently anyway, that he's one that just sort of rags them everywhere and causes them trouble in terms of, working them hard. And then at the time, whenever we see teams and they start to sort of deteriorate in terms of how their tiredness, basically, then you get a player on to hurt them. I'm interested in Jota, because obviously Jota, he hasn't scored many goals at all. He hasn't been great recently, but he just feels like the sort of footballer that you can throw in a moment he'll take a chance and he'll change something. And he does as well. So, I'm interested in him, but I feel like maybe holding him back for the past 20, he feels like a finisher, one of the games that you say to, you're not starting here, mate, but like if we need you, you're the one that we back to come on and get the goals.
Yeah, I'd be holding Jota back personally, and I think he played well off the bench against Portugal, by all accounts. They ended up doing an hour because it went to extra time, but I probably played really well, helped sort of turn that game in Portugal's favour. So for me, he'd be a little bit more of an option off the bench. But the nice options to have, and that's the thing, and you'd rather that than the other way. Do you know what I mean? We're talking about 5 days. We've not even sort of mentioned Núñez. He might start him out of nowhere. I don't think he will. He has actually a bit of a tougher time, I believe, on international break and so. But it's nice to sort of have these options, and that it goes back to what I was saying before about reminding yourself of the quality of the squad, remind yourself just how good they are. You can get in your own head, because Arsenal have won twice in the league since we last played, so 15 points sort of becomes 9, but 9's still a brilliant lead with the game in hand. We've got the opportunity to extend that tonight, and I think they'll sort of grab it, and I feel like whoever he picks tonight, it'll be a good team. Whoever he doesn't pick, they'll hopefully be ready off the bench with the likes of Elliott as well to sort of change it. And though the greatest finisher sort of all time, you know, of games, sort of if we need them, if it's a little too nervy 2-1 and you want him to come on, sort of, you know, he'll look to do the business there. There's quality throughout, and whoever he picks, we just need to get behind them tonight.
Yeah, I've seen a meme of Benitez putting his glasses in his pocket, so when you see Endo come on, it's job done. Every single player is going to have to prove something tonight, whether they've been playing regularly, playing well, not playing well. We all know as a fan base that it was tough going out to the European Cup and then tough going out. Sorry, not winning the Carabao Cup, pretty much back to back. So whatever team he picks, we need big performances. I'm with you. I'm not too bothered about what he picks. I'm more bothered about what Slot said in the press conferences about I'm not into other teams wanting it more. And go back to what I said before, Everton fans are playing it down a little bit about, you know, they're safe. Liverpool look like they got one hand on the title. They'll be coming to Anfield to still try and beat us tonight. They will. They'll think in the back of their minds, if they do, we've spoiled the party here a little bit, or we've at least delayed the party. So I hope Liverpool turn up tonight and just put all that to bed, all this talk that's been going on through the international break about Liverpool having a wobble, or will it get worse for Liverpool? Just put it to bed, turn up, win your battles, and play your football, and you'll beat Everton 100%. I
think as well, there's a massive opportunity for these footballers. Some of the ones that we're talking about on the fringes, you know, someone like, and I'm not just talking about tonight, I'm talking about the next 9 games in terms of like etching their names into like the history of Liverpool. And, you know, obviously if Liverpool go on to win the league, Salah's already done that, and Van Dijk and numerous players across, but there is people like Chiesa that maybe if they get a little chance, whether it's tonight coming on or at Fulham or whatever, and they bag a goal, they become part of the story of Liverpool in the league. Like, I'm looking at Bradley and thinking, you know, given what's happened with Trent at the moment, you know, that it feels like a really important sort of next 6 weeks for him, where he could end up being Liverpool's right back, the game they win the league, the time they left it, and all of that. You know, there's numerous players. We've talked about Núñez in the past and how he has these big moments and then he sort of goes missing, but there still feels as if there could be another big moment for Núñez. Right across the pitch, it just feels like there's an opportunity for them to you know, to create some sort of big moments, because there is going to be big moments for the next 6 weeks, because, you know, we're on for a title, and hopefully the first starts tonight.
Could be the biggest moment of the season tonight. Let's all hope so. Let's look forward to it. Listen, before I ask Craig to bring in maybe one or two final comments, I just want to give a shout out to all the stuff across the Anfield Wrap, because if you've enjoyed this and you whetted your appetite for more and you want more previews for tonight to make you feel more confident if you're nervous, or just to help you get you pumped up, there is loads on the Anfield Wrap. So yesterday I did the Team Talk show, obviously hosted by Josh Sexton, along with Jimmy on that as well, straight after the press conference, looking ahead to the game. So that show was really good. That's available for video subscribers either on YouTube or the Anfield Wrap app. And then pre-match warm-up was recorded yesterday as well, our audio preview, hosted very expertly as ever by Ian Ryan, looking ahead to the game. There was press conference extra as well that Andy did, so loads of previews looking ahead to Everton. But before the game, if you're going tonight, I'd encourage you to get down and watch Keo as ever will be in the Sandon about 6:30, would you say, about 6:30. So if you need to warm up your vocal cords, grab yourself a pint in the Sandon, go and watch Keo, and he'll get you ready for war. If that little speech just before was a little taster of what you're to get, you'll be marching into the ground ready to take on Everton on your own by the time Keo's finished with you. So do get down to see him in the Sandon. And then obviously straight after the game, we've got the best post-match reaction show, we think, anywhere in the world to Liverpool. So it's straight from the Glen Book, audio and video, hopefully reacting to a fantastic Liverpool win. So that's available to Tour Player subscribers as well. So download the app. If you don't subscribe yet, if you download the app, you'll get some tokens. You can buy some tokens if you've used them and you're not quite sure yet, but we do want you to come on board. So theanfieldwrap.com/subscribe if you want to go through the website, or you can subscribe through the app as well. It's a wonderful time to be a Red. It's a wonderful time to be the top of the league, and we think it's a great time to subscribe to the Anfield Wrap. So we would love to have you on board. So get stuck in. The post-match shows, if we win tonight, will be spectacular. I'll be hosting one. I'll be guaranteeing that for you. And the Glen Book is always absolutely bouncing after a big Liverpool win, and we love to capture that as well. Craig, anything jumping out before we all go?
James Pond asking, what do you make of all these ones trying to tell our fans how to act about Trent? I knew you'd like this. Come on.
Where did he? Honestly, like, I was on Twitter yesterday and someone was like, oh, fucking hell, Michael Dawson, tell us that. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke,
yeah.
but it was Michael Dawson going like, Liverpool fans need to act like this. Lad, fuck off.
I know. Shut up.
Honestly.
Like, who's sitting here thinking, you know what, I'm dying for some news on these contracts. I'm dying for some, like, you know, a different perspective. Let's see what Michael Dawson's got to say about it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
and Rio Ferdinand doing this to camera and message to Liverpool fans. Like, what's in his head? Does he think there's a single Liverpool fan who cares what he thinks about anything? Never mind Liverpool. Never mind our players. Like, they're so deluded and they're so, like, removed from... I can't believe you brought this up. Now I was meant to.
I know, I made up.
This is another show.
I've been holding this in my back pocket for the end.
They're so removed from reality and they're in their own little bubble, and that's fine. They're in that bubble. So if I want to know what it's like to play in a Champions League final or to win a Premier League, yeah, ask Rio Ferdinand. He's done in that stuff, but he's never paid money to go and watch his team. He's never he's never jumped on a train, got on a bus at 5 a.m. to go and support the team, to go and idolise these players. They don't get it. They haven't ever done that. They've been in their own scenario, and that's fine. You've only got your own experiences that you can talk about. So talk about that. So say, if Rio Ferdinand wants to say from a player's perspective, that's all right. Or from, people need to understand that for the players, you've only got short careers or blah blah blah. Loyalty works both ways. Football clubs messing about. If you want to talk about that, how football clubs have messed players around, how they'll throw you on the scrappy if you don't want you. So we've got to, like, that's fine. But to be saying you football fans need to think like this, why I don't get why you're thinking like this. You need to have this perspective. Like, it's just sort of bollocks. Stop telling us how to think.
All they're basically saying is, I'd have done it. Well, fine, but we wouldn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why we're not happy. There's a few reasons why Liverpool fans aren't happy with the Trent situation. Some are unhappy because he's ran his contract down. Some are unhappy because, you know, he's not spoke to the press. Some are unhappy that the contract hasn't been nailed by the owner. Whatever the reason is, most of us agree that the biggest one is Liverpool are challenging for titles. Liverpool are challenging for European Cups. We're all Reds. We'd absolutely love the opportunity to do that, and we can't understand a Scouser and a Liverpool fan preferring to go somewhere else and do it. So fine, but we're Liverpool fans. We go to a match every week. We pay money to go and watch our team. I don't need to see what Michael Dawson thinks. Real Madrid were never interested in a million years. Completely unqualified to speak on the issue. One, not as a player, was never on Madrid's radar. Shut your mouth.
Like, the thing is, imagine if I went to you, listen, I'm a bit tired of this Liverpool stuff. Does this Real Madrid podcast, they've offered me a bit more money and it's sunny in it and I want to experience something else, so I'm going to go over to do this Real Madrid podcast. You'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Likewise, and if I turn around and said to you, Real Madrid have just offered me 4 times the dough there to go and sing in Spanish in a white Real Madrid t-shirt, and you want to go on their pre-season tour, and I went and done it and came back and was like showing you photos, you go, what an arsehole, why have you done that? Why have you done that?
But what these players who don't understand us it's the same to us. It's the same in my head. Like, it's I would never fathom that. I'd be like, no, because I'm doing it on Liverpool and Liverpool's the club. So you can offer me more money or you can offer me sunshine or whatever, or all the fucking paella that you want. Do you know what I mean? This is my passion. I'm going to go and do this. And so, like, it's for us, like Trent's got the ultimate dream. Like, exactly. I'm lucky I get to talk about Liverpool for Liverpool. You get to sing with the Liverpool stuff. Like, we're both fortunate position. Craig gets the clip and market John Gibbons. He's the fucking luckiest man in the world. You know what I mean?
I was going to clip that, but I'm not doing it.
But, so we're all sort of fortunate, but you'd swap it all in a heartbeat and everything you've got, and, all of that to play for Liverpool once.
And that's what we can't. That's what we can't understand. And I don't know about other people. I'll speak for myself here. Like, no Liverpool player has had this opportunity, Trent Scott, to be able to be paid a mega contract, potentially captain your team in the future, whilst they're going for the biggest trophies. You've got the best team in England. And I say it, you say that Madrid are not a rival. I see Madrid as a rival.
100%.
They're our rival for the European Cup. In finals. And if we're going to talk about every single season when the European Cup starts, you say, what's the team that can, you need to beat?
You want to go out?
It's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So they're the rival for the European Cup, the same way Arsenal or City are the rival in the league. So you can say he's not going to a rival. Put it this way, if we get Real Madrid in the competition next year and he's playing for them, he's a rival.
He's
the biggest rival on the pitch, you know what I mean? So if he goes, that is. But yeah, like, shut up,
Also,
Dawson,
like,
shut up Ferdinand, shut up everyone.
Alan Smith, he's another one, he's on the list.
Yeah, I didn't even see him. I thought, what's he piping up for?
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
Honest to God.
I knew this would be a good question to ask. It was like
Honest
throwing a little
to-
bomb in.
Honest to God.
Do you know what
It's
though?
because I'm all wound up about the derby tonight. I've got all this pent-up aggression. It needed to go somewhere, and it's gone to fucking Michael Dawson.
But you know what though? The thing is, like, as football fans, so we don't get to determine any of this in terms of like what happens with Trent. So Trent makes a decision to go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid make a decision to court him and then to get him on a free and to do all the things, the dark arts of what they've done with Mbappe and all of these teams. The one thing that football fans get to determine is how we feel about Trent.
Yeah.
Not having some prick on Sky Sports who, as you say, has never had the irrational sort of relationship that we as football fans have with our football clubs and the connection we have with the footballers because of the moments and experiences they've given us. So we are the ones that get to determine what we see Trent's legacy as being. And to me, the thing that hurts most is I feel like Trent, as a Liverpool fan, and this is something that Rio Ferdinand cannot see, is that as a Liverpool fan, it feels like he is sacrificing the legacy he's created with Liverpool Football Club, the team that he's grown up supporting in the city that he's grown up in, and the legacy he's created with us as fans for something bigger, something higher, a Ballon d'Or for Real Madrid, more European Cups maybe or whatever. And as you say, it's with a rival. So this idea of like, he's going off to Spain and blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. I want him in the European Cup. I want him in the European Cup with Liverpool.
Yeah.
And so
And
Trent
so
going there
he.
makes it slightly more difficult.
Do you know
And so should he, exactly.
Do you know if he wants the Ballon d'Or, his best chances of winning a Ballon d'Or is getting the armband at Liverpool and winning the European Cup and winning the league. You're not going to win it
And we'll put them pictures all
Vinicius
around the world.
Junior in the side and you're playing it right back. His best chance of the Ballon d'Or is actually at Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In saying all of that, if there is a Real Madrid podcast listening, I will take big money to come and speak Spanish and eat paella with yous. So forget everything I just said on that.
Yeah, same, by the way. I mean, and also as well, I really want to see the opinion of Stephen Warnock if you can tell me how I should be thinking.
Oh, Wiz is already out there, lad. Don't worry about that.
They're all they're just lining them up one by one to go. Liverpool
Darren
fans.
Bent's next.
Yeah, Liverpool fans.
Jason
should
Cundy.
be. Yeah, Palo
Fucking
Wanchop.
hell.
He's coming out to tell us. I think Liverpool fans should actually be delighted that one of their best players is going for nothing to go and play for a rival. They are a fucking rival. We play them nearly every year. Listen, we're going to have to finish there. Huge thanks to NordVPN for partnering with us. Huge thanks to Craig for dropping grenades all over the place. For Keo for singing his heart out tonight, and obviously for coming in today as well. And for you guys for getting, I think, 2 episodes of Talking Reds there in the end. Enjoy tonight. 3 points up for grabs. A league title is there to be grabbed as well. Up the fucking Reds.
Up the Reds.
A VPN, short for Virtual Private Network, is a cybersecurity tool for privacy and security. When you connect to it, a VPN creates a secure tunnel and secures data traveling between you and the VPN server. Encryption scrambles data, so to anyone outside the encrypted tunnel, the information looks like gibberish, meaning no snoops can sneak a peek at your online activity. NordVPN ensures that you can browse safely and privately in just a few clicks. A VPN, short for Virtual Private Network,